There's Ton. Call maintenance. I have sperm all over my desk again.
And now, back to the Big Dumb Fun Show.
Back on the Big Dumb Fun Show. Hanging out online, BigDumbFunShow.com. We're rocking the MySpace, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Follow us on the Twitter, twitter.com/BigDumbFunShow. And you can hear music that we play, like that song you just heard. You know who that was? Evelyn Awake.
Very nice. Love the folks over at Evelyn Awake. We need to have them in very soon, actually. Now, we are in studio with old buddy, old pal, Jason P. Hunt from Sci-Fi for Me, sci-fi the number 4, me.com, filmmaker, comedian, extraordinaire, Jason P. Hunt. Also, the one of the panelists, I guess, or the guy that would lead discussion panels at the Comic Con. And so, are you having some phone problems there?
I'm having some phone problems.
That's all right.
I can hear
better?
you.
I can hear you fine.
I can hear better. Oh,
Okay.
there I am.
There you go.
Talk into the front of the mic, not the top.
There.
Oh!
Hey!
Snap! And he's back!
See, and this is so different from any other microphone that I ever have to deal with.
I know.
Never
Usually
talk
it's
to the
right towards
side.
right in the
You
center of the
talk in
mic.
front.
Well, and Ross
No.
isn't helping, and I would say Ross, Rena doesn't help either, because, like Jeff, she wants to tip her microphone a little bit. And then, of course, the people coming in that are the guests that don't know better, they want to tip their microphone, and they all start talking out of the top of it, and the quality is not nearly as good.
Well, see,
Well, I don't want to move her microphone because next week she might beat me up
No,
for touching it.
What we need to do, and Ross doesn't know this yet, is that we're actually going to have him hold the boom. And when we get our new microphone, and he's just going to hold this to whoever's in studio.
There
just
we go.
That's phase 2 on the Big Dumb Fun Show.
That'll work.
But welcome back. Welcome
Thank you.
back. You're no stranger to the show. And in fact, you came in last year about this time, talk about Planet Comic Con as well. Kansas City's probably largest Comic Con festival.
It is. It is the biggest comic book and pop culture convention of the year in Kansas City. This year is going to be bigger than any other Planet Comic Con that's come before. It's the 13th year.
Yeah. A lot of big names coming through.
Yeah, a lot. Billy Dee Williams is going to be here. Edward James Olmos, who was a last-minute confirmation. I mean, they had flyers printed up and everything, and then Eddie Olmos said, "Oh yeah, I think I'll be there."
Oh, wow.
So you got to get all.
It's like, well, I'm going to be in Kansas City anyway. What the hell?
Oh, by the way, so he's going to be here. The Buck Rogers cast is going to be here. Gil Gerard, Aaron Gray, Felix Sela, who played Tweaky.
This is a big reunion.
It is. It is. I don't know if they've been together before. I know Aaron and Gil have done some stuff together, but I don't know if all three have been in the same place at the same time anytime recently. So that's going to be fun. There we go.
Yeah, Gunnar was trying to tell me about this a little bit because this is before my time. I'm not familiar with the whole Buck Rogers saga, other than when I had my old Atari like AT-88, the old computer. There was a Buck Rogers game.
Yeah.
It was like a 8-bit game. It was awful. I hated it.
And come to find out, doing some of my prep work, they were talking about Ralph McQuarrie, who did all the concept art for Star Wars. He also did concept art for Battlestar Galactica and Buck Rogers.
Oh wow!
And the Starfighter, the spaceship that was used in Buck Rogers, actually started out as an early design for the Viper from Battlestar Galactica. So it all just kind of all circles around.
Same guy behind the thing.
Yeah.
Big fans are just like, now wait a damn minute. What's Buck doing here? Now, honestly, I don't know what Jake Lloyd's been up to, but he can walk in the studio right now, and I'd have no idea who he was a kid when he did the episode 1.
Yeah, and he's in his 20s now.
Jeez,
I know.
So, have you seen him in his 20s? Like, would you know?
No. Well, I've seen a couple of photographs of him.
Anything,
he hasn't done a whole lot. No, and I've heard rumors about
pornography,
Phantom Menace not being very good for his career.
Yeah.
But it's strictly rumor. It's not anything that I've had any independent confirmation on.
What else has he been in?
Because the haircut.
He hasn't.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's it. I mean, he did a couple of episodes of The Pretender on NBC, and then he did Phantom Menace. And
then nothing.
Then, yeah.
And who's saying that's bad for his career?
No, you know what's bad for his career is growing up. I mean, so is
Yeah.
the Sixth Sense kid isn't doing anything, or was it Haley Joel Osment?
Haley Joel Osment.
Yeah.
So he's not doing it. It's just that he grew up, and that's the fact. Jack, he needs to go get into whatever grown-up stars do. Just ride out that Star Wars money as much as you can. Is he seeing any of the money, or does he have to wait till he's like 18 in order to get some of that Star Wars cash?
I would assume. I mean, he's in his 20s now, so I would guess that even if it's been held in trust, he's probably got it by now.
Okay, I can see
So,
that.
yeah.
But he's going to be there. He's going to be signing autographs.
That's the plan. Yeah, he's in Japan right now to promote the 3D opening over in Japan.
Yeah.
And then from there, he's coming here. So
I saw that. Did you watch the 3D Star Wars?
I have not.
I saw it.
Nope.
I wasn't too terrible. Well, I wasn't really impressed with the movie to begin with.
Sure.
So, but seeing it in 3D, I thought, well, this is going to be what just rocks my socks. Like, because I want to see all of them again in 3D. Because I'm that person that was like, oh, hey, this is neat. And so I watched it, and they didn't really. I expected a laser to be shot at my face. Like that's what I was wanting. Just like if they ever re-release Ghostbusters, I want a proton wand in my face.
You don't want Slimer coming towards you?
That would be great,
Wouldn't it?
And oh, buddy, don't let me down.
So, but I was kind of disappointed about the lack of usage of 3D. Like it was very subtle, which.
Well, they had to work with the existing footage.
Yeah.
They didn't
Right, it's a
bring
con-
people
it's a
back
conversion.
in.
But the existing footage is all computer generated
it's a
anyway.
conversion,
I
like
figured
you
they could
said.
just kind of put it all together. I don't know how it works. You know better than me. But
Well, this particular set, because a lot of people made a lot of noise when they announced that 3D was coming out. They were saying, "Oh, Lucas is going to change it again," and there was a lot of that negative backlash before it even came out. And so, basically, the 3D is what's on the Blu-ray converted to 3D.
yeah.
And they didn't make any changes off of that. And really, a 3D conversion from a 2D print, there's only so much that you can do.
Yeah. Well, and that's I
Well,
didn't
and
think
then
it
it's
was
also Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Some people
So,
don't think that that's much for Star Wars.
Yeah, well, and it's not because they had a pod scene that could have been 2 minutes. It seemed like it was half the movie, And
it went
man,
a
they
long
had
time.
such an awesome character with Darth Maul that had no part in the movie, And
he's back in the Clone Wars though.
is he?
He came back in the animated, so he's in the season finale here that just ran.
I can't get
He
into the
came
animated
back.
stuff.
It's actually, and a lot of fans say that the Clone Wars animated is more like Star Wars, the original trilogy,
Yeah.
than the prequel trilogy,
Yeah.
because Lucas isn't doing it.
Well, what didn't make
It's, you know,
sense
Dave
about
Filoni and all
the prequel elements of the film was the technology and the computer-generated effects and everything they did was above and beyond anything of the original movies.
Yeah, and
So, I mean, it had this other polish that didn't appear
Right.
in the first 3 episodes.
Yeah, and so it felt not photorealistic because it was so overdone.
Yeah.
There was so much of it, and
Yeah.
and nobody
Well, and
nobody could buy into
I mean,
it.
if you're a fan of the old movies, it was the fact that they would create these huge sets that were very impressive, but he would never focus on the set.
Right.
This seemed more
Well,
like a
and
look at all this cool crap I put in there.
Yeah, well, and
And-
half the sets of the old in the original trilogy were all matte paintings. They weren't
Yeah,
really
yeah,
there. You
no,
take, okay,
absolutely.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna draw a box around, and then the rest of this is all just
Yeah.
a picture.
Yeah, just a picture that they put on top of it. The double lightsaber, awesome.
That was cool.
Oh,
yeah.
my gosh.
Now the lightsaber stuff and that kind of thing, the stunt work, that was very impressive. John Williams' music, top notch.
Yeah.
But the story was crap, and
Yeah.
I think that's what a lot of fans looked at and said, "Wait a minute, you've already established the backstory in the original trilogy because
Yeah.
of what Obi-Wan says and what Leia says and what Luke says. There's enough there that you can backtrace and you can actually create a story that fits."
Actually,
And they didn't do it.
Also, kind of upset at the fact that they go now. If after watching the first 3 movies, then you go to watch the other ones. And of course, my wife, who watched them in order, which is tough to do. She watched episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so we get to episode 4 after we watch everything in the theaters. We get to episode 4, and she's like, "How the hell does Obi-Wan not know who these robots are?" And I'm like, "That's a good question." And then the whole dialogue when Luke first meets Obi-Wan, it's like, is he lost his mind? Like, who is this guy? Like, you don't recognize R2-D2? Like, so, yeah, that's the inner nerd in me. Like, what?
Although, what Obi-Wan says is, can't recall ever owning a droid. He never says, I don't know this droid. He says, I never owned this droid. So technically,
That's a cop-out.
true.
That is a cop-out.
You know,
If I was Obi-Wan,
That
and
sounds like
I rescue this kid from the sand demons or whatever the hell, and I go like, holy crap! It's R2-D2. What's up, buddy? Like I would be like the total tone would completely change. But Jason B. Hunt's in the studio with us, talking to Comic Con. Eventually, we'll get around to Comic Con. We'll talk more about Comic Con coming up this weekend and the panels. Billy Dee Williams, we need to touch on that, and so much more next on the Big Dumb Fun Show.
Made a deal that'll keep the Empire out of here forever.